What is up, everyone? Welcome back to episode 76 of Think Twice, the magic and pop culture show hosted by me, Justin Parnell, and my co-host, Ali Santa Claus Aintrazi. What is Santa in Lebanon? Is there a Lebanese Santa?
No, there's Farouj, which is just chicken.
Is it like a chicken that comes around and gives you presents?
No. The only thing we have that's like, I guess, like similar is we kill a lamb and then give you food and then like basically hand out the lamb after we kill it. We cook it, obviously, but no, there's nothing similar to Christmas. There's nothing Christmassy about down in Lebanon.
Well, no, of course. I mean, not Christmas, obviously, but obviously, there's like holiday-y. So there's not a Christmas-like holiday.
Not that I know of, no. But I'm also not very up on Arabic.
I know, but you totally could have just made something up, and no one would have known.
Yeah, there's a holiday where you go and sit in the toilet all day.
I feel like I know that this is not real, though. You should have shot higher, I think. Put a little positive spin on it. Like something that makes people think there's a chance this could be real.
Well, it's too late now.
But anyway, since we're both in the United States and we celebrated Christmas at least to some degree, what did you do over the holiday time in the last week?
I gave presents out to the kids. Went to my aunt, ate some food. I got a T-shirt as a gift. That's it.
Do you want to elaborate on the T-shirt as the gift?
Well, okay, so it was a thoughtful gift. It's a T-shirt. It's a great T-shirt.
So a thoughtful gift means. Hold on, this is a crap gift. But I'm gonna tell you why.
My cousin.
Yep.
Jamila, you know her. My cousin Jamila.
Know Jamila.
So you got me this gift, and she got me. You know, one of those things where you press a picture to a shirt.
Yeah.
And like, well, yeah. Okay, so she got a picture of my invitational card, blew it up, and pressed it to the shirt.
Oh, okay.
And gave it to me. And
I'm sure it was of the highest quality possible.
Obviously it wasn't, but it's fine. I mean, I hope she's listening to this podcast because I will not wear that shirt outside the house. Will
you wear it inside the house?
Maybe.
Man,
it's just like, it's kind of like it's your girlfriend buying you a shirt that says, "Hey, I love my girlfriend," or whatever.
Except you're buying a shirt that says, "Hey, I love myself."
But it's too self-absorbed. It comes off as too self-absorbed for me to wear it anywhere.
Yeah, totally, because it's you. It's you,
yeah, exactly.
in one of your finer moments.
Exactly.
Magically.
Like, right. So I can't just like, yeah. So, and I think I'm like, I can't do it.
I want you to wear it and then walk around at a tournament and introduce yourself and says, "Hi, Ali Aintrazi, Invitational Champion."
Oh, God.
Ali Aintrazi, Invitational Champion. Just shake people's hand.
I'm too humble to wear it in public. It's also like almost cringy to me. For whatever reason, it comes off as like.
Well, I don't think it's not for whatever reason. I think it's a pretty clear reason.
Anyways, that's what I got for Christmas. That's all I got.
Okay. Well, we opened a bunch of presents. Some Meredith's family came in. Her brother and sister-in-law, which is always a lot of fun. We enjoy spending time with them. And Meredith and I didn't really get any presents. We just moved, so we kind of have been gifting ourselves presents to update our house over the last few months. So we didn't really do anything. The only thing we did do, I guess the present that we did get was for the family. We got Super Smash Brothers for the Switch and 2 Pro controllers, which are great. Instead of the little Joy-Cons, it's an actual full-fledged controller. So the whole family has collectively spent a lot of hours on that. We opened that on Christmas Eve, so we could just spend all day on Christmas Eve playing it.
Nice.
So we've been doing that for the last few days.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
I've been teaching them stuff. I did stream on Christmas.
That's good.
I was #1 streamer for a while there. It's kind of nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, you get in your holiday niche.
Yeah.
We had a question of the week last week, and this was actually one of the more fun questions of the week, and we had a lot of people that answered in the other category. The question of the week was, when we talked about Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse and how that movie goes into alternate dimensions, and every Spider-Man in each of those dimensions has a tragedy that happens in their life. So the question was, in an alternate magic dimension, what tragedy happens to you? And my answer was Ravnica and Kamigawa switch release years and switch popularity in the course of that. So Ravnica is the least popular plane and Kamigawa is the most popular plane. That got 37% of the vote. Ali, you said that your most tragic alternate dimension magic thing would be the Simic Guild on a third return to Ravnica, a third trip to Ravnica, would have 3 mechanics in a row that only exclusively dealt with +1/+1 counters on creatures.
Which is this dimension?
Lo and behold, this is the dimension that we are currently living in.
It is.
And that got 52% of the vote, so apparently people really felt for you.
Thank you. Thank you, people. Thank you for agreeing with me. If you feel some of my pain, or all of my pain, because it's really crappy. So yeah, thank you. Because I don't want to go into it again, but yeah.
No, you did plenty last week, and if you listen to the flashback, if you're a Patreon supporter at a certain tier level, the Airbus Emissary level, you can listen to that. Ali goes all out. He really lets me know how he feels, in case no one figured it out.
Yep.
But the other 11%,
no breaks. No brakes were pumped.
I think every single person that answered other responded on Twitter, so we got a lot of great answers.
We did.
So that was fantastic. And of course, we just want to remind everyone, if you want to support the show, you can do so on patreon.com. Patreon.com/ThinkTwiceMTG, and you can support us on any of our platforms: SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, Google Play Music, Spotify. Make sure to subscribe to our channels there. Leave us a short review if you can. Like those tracks and share them. Anything you can. The holiday spirit. It's so easy. It takes a very, very small amount of your time to do any of those things, and it means a lot to us, more than just about anything else you can do. It
does, and we appreciate people that do it. So thank you.
So, all right. Speaking of Patreon, we are having a very special episode this week, and that is, we've asked 5 question of the week type questions to our Patreon supporters that are either on Patreon or on Discord. And we have 5 questions lined up. So we have two segments today. First segment is we're going to be going over each of those questions and reading out everyone's answers. And then we're going to be picking, Ollie and I are individually going to be picking which question we liked, or which answer we liked the best from each of those questions. And then the second segment is we are going to be looking at questions that our patron supporters are asking us, but we have not looked at these questions yet. We're going to open up the server and look at all these questions live. So you're going to get our authentic reactions, and we're going to attempt to answer those. We have no idea what we're expecting. Literally no idea.
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm ready too. So in that case, we will take a quick break, and when we return, 5 question of the weeks is.
Question of the week. Week.
You beat me to it. I was going to say, you know what it's time for. But yeah, that was it.
I got you.
That was what it was.
5 times.
Okay, so let's get to it. And of course, we can give our own answer for these as well. We'll do that at the very end, after we read through everyone else's.
I refuse.
Wow. Okay. Starting off like this. All right. Question number 1. Of these 3 choices. What fictional world should get its own Magic expansion and why? Star Wars, Pokemon, or Mad Max? You ready to get into question number 1?
Yep.
Okay. So why don't we just read through and alternate on these?
Yeah,
if
I'll
we
start.
can. Okay.
All right, so Severo Beep says Mad Max, the post-apocalyptic struggle for survival is ripe for application to a plane. It could even happen on an existing plane, like post-hours on Manquette. The narrowness of the original material leaves lots of area for development and would give creative space. Plenty of room there for artifacts, magic, and warring factions, etc. I think magic in space could work, but I don't really want to see it. And wouldn't Pokemon just be quality time with the Simic? ?
Yeah, fair question. All right. Cardboard Lord. Answer, Mad Max. Because the other two already have a card game, I think that the flavor, art, and mechanics would be tailored towards it. That is true. The other two do have a card game. Several different versions of the card game for Star Wars, in fact. Okay. Looks like might be missing one.
Next one up, I think, is Kills Switcher.
Okay.
Which says, Pokemon. Due to popularity among fans, it would sell itself. Also a variety of creature types. Magic has already implemented energy, and it can expand on there. Plus, we get new versions of Planeswalkers in these sets, known as trainers.
Oh, that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That would be pretty sweet.
Bill Trainer. Draw 2 cards. Draw 2 cards. Draw 2 cards.
Yeah. Yeah, that would just be... You could probably just reskin the Tezzeret.
Yeah, to you, Bill.
Yeah. If you control 2 or more Pokemon, draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up is Curtis S. Pokemon. I'd love for Mad Max to be the plane, but I think it would be very difficult to balance the color pie. Pokemon gives R&D the most design space to come up with a balanced play style. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. All right. Next
one
down
is
the
Kermit.
list.
It's Kermit. Mad Max, simply because I don't think magic works in space, and Pokemon would be too similar to a Planeswalker. There's so many creatures like Vivian. Okay.
All right. Next up, Matt N. Answer, Mad Max. There are way too many things in both Pokemon and Star Wars to justify what gets to be used in the sets over other things. People would get upset because some of their favorite things aren't in there, but post-apocalyptic theme set would be cool. You could even tie into Magic with Amonkhet after the story, alternate timelines where Bolus won and is ruling over everything. That would be sweet.
That'd be kind of cool, yeah. I like how 2 people have mentioned Amonkhet.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is In the Tank MTG or Brad. Mad Max. The other two have too many unique and well-known characters to adapt another environment around.
That's fair, and a handful of people are saying that too. Okay. Next up is TK119, which I know this is Daniel Hunt, one of our Agent Bolus patrons. Star Wars has a good mix of magic, the Force, and realism to make an actual expansion. Most MTG expansions have that form of a layout. Plus all the alien races and different groups, you could have a few different tribes in the mix too. That's true. You could definitely do tribal oriented stuff with Star Wars.
Tribal Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Okay. This is from Ethan on Patreon. Star Wars, it is a deeper world than the other two, and Pokemon already has a card game.
Yep, that's true. That's true. And then this is from Jasper on Patreon.
No.
Wait,
Jasper.
I gotta go over. I gotta go. Let me go over and get to the Patreon.
Okay.
Oh wait, nope. No, we don't have one. We don't have one for Jasper. You're right. All right,
yeah,
skipping down.
Yeah. Fraser.
Last one, Fraser. It's a definitely be Star Wars. Not only does Star Wars have a ton of elements of high fantasy, but the message that it sends is one that you can look at and hold up reasonably well to this day. I mean, that's probably true. Okay. So I think that might be it.
Yep. All right. My favorite is. Does I say now, or do I wait till the end?
Yeah, you go ahead and answer. You go ahead and answer. Well, yeah. Why don't you say your favorite, and then we can kind of say why, and then roll our answers into that.
Okay. I say Curtis. He's the one who said Pokemon. I love for Mad Max to be the planet, but I think it would be very difficult to balance the color apply. Oh, 1 second. I lied. I'm sorry, Curtis.
Man.
I'm taking the pride. This is like the Kanye West. I'm pulling a Kanye West. I'm giving it a Kill Switcher 11, which is Pokemon.
Oh, God. Curtis just got blown directly up.
I'm sorry. He says Pokemon, due to popularity among fans, it sells itself, which I agree with. Also, a variety of creature types, which I agree with. Energy could be cool to see again. Hopefully, they don't break it. And also, like, I love to see trainers. I love to see like Brock as a trainer and Misty as a trainer, etc., etc. So I agree with that. And I would also vote for Pokemon.
Okay, yeah, I think that's how we're gonna align. Because my answer for the person whose answer I liked the best for this one was Severo B. He said Mad Max, post-apocalyptic struggle for survive is right for application to a plane. I totally agree with that. And he was one of the people that mentioned a post-hour devastation Amonkhet. And the fact that there's so much room to play around with because not everything is defined. The world itself is extremely defined, but the specifics of it are not. And I think the world is super cool. And that would also, Mad Max would also be my answer for that.
Okay.
It looked like all three, like I didn't count them, but it seemed like they were pretty even. I think Star Wars probably lagged behind a little bit.
Yeah, I think Mad Max was like probably the highest.
Yeah,
by 1 or 2.
Maybe just barely.
Yep.
I'll say okay. All right.
Next question: which Marvel character would make the best Planeswalker and why? Cardboard Lord says Mystique. I think shapeshifting is a super unexplored plotline MTG, considering it's a mechanic, and it could be interesting to follow her storyline and see how she would affect the planes she travels to.
It's a great answer. Okay. So next up is Amin P. Amin says, my first thought would be Doctor Strange, but then it just seems like would be another Teferi Walker.
Yuck.
Then I thought the Hulk, but that seems like Garrick. So then it got me thinking about how similar Walkers can be to Marvel characters. The most different would be Spider-Man, which could definitely be an interesting Planeswalker. Sure. Definitely. I think Spider-Man's a good answer because it's definitely very different.
I agree with that.
All right.
Next one is Severo B. I racked my brain trying to come up with a less routine answer here, but it's got to be Wolverine, right? I know it could be like Cynical Gid, but I can get behind Cynical Gid. He's the most interesting Marvel character, so I think he'd make the most interesting Planeswalker. I'm thinking abs and colors.
I
don't know. Wolverine, Abzan. I think he's a little. He's a little red.
He has to be red.
Yeah, red something.
Yeah, he has to be red. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think he'd be closer to Mardu. Though I actually don't think he's black at all. So
I don't think he's black. No.
He might just be red-white. Actually,
that's Boros. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Maybe Naya.
Maybe he might just be mono red. I don't know. That's always an interesting one to think about.
Yeah, it is.
So before we get too far, so I want to point out, William Johnson was one of the people that actually answered questions at SEGCon. So we're going to transcribe his here, and I forgot to add his. I knew we were missing one. So we'll go back to jump back to the first question. He also said Star Wars. It seems like it has the most fun stuff, and there's an entire galaxy and a world to go through, which obviously that's certainly true. It definitely has the biggest space.
Infinite expansions, yeah.
Yeah, to play in, for sure. Yeah, you could make a whole game around Star Wars, which of course has happened.
They have happened, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So moving on. So Severo said Wolverine. Okay, so going on. All right. Killswitcher 11 said Thanos would set a new bar for power level when it comes to planeswalkers. Is that what we want? With so many abilities and power, Thanos would be perfect planeswalker to be the first one to have 5 abilities on his card. Now, wouldn't you have to have 6 abilities?
One for each gym.
You'd have to have one for each gym. Yeah. Maybe you could get away with 5 and have a Garrick Relentless style walker where one of the abilities on the front transforms it to the backside. That'd be like the reality stone.
Oh no. What would happen would be it would be a planeswalker by itself. It'd be Thanos, and then he'd be planeswalker, and then the glove with the gems would be planeswalker. When you have them both together, they meld together to make Thanos with the glove.
Or
like
how sweet
Brazilla.
would this be? How sweet would this be in a Marvel expansion? You have characters as planeswalkers, but the Infinity Gems are artifacts that equip the planeswalkers that give them a new planeswalker ability.
No, I like Thanos melding with the glove.
But you can't just have the glove on its own. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, you can. Can have like one planeswalker ability. I don't know.
Like search for a land.
Or search for Thanos.
Or search. Interesting. They could be partners.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
There you go. Or partners. Yeah, that works too. That meld.
Okay.
Partners that meld. That's kind of gross.
That could be. Yeah. All right. Next up.
Next up is Baraka. He says Magneto could make a very cool Izzet artifact planeswalker that I feel would be super easy to design. Thanos could be a 5-color planeswalker that would be super sweet, and we all know what his alt would be. As for non-villain, there could be a Rocket as a mono red and Groot as mono green. They could be partner walkers like from Battle Bond.
That would be sweet. That would be sweet.
Baraka gave all sweet answers, but it's too many answers, Baraka.
Yeah, you gotta pick one. Which Marvel character?
I'm gonna go with Magneto since that was his first one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay. Moving on to Curtis S. I think Phoenix would be a really cool planeswalker. Her abilities, telepathy, and psychokinesis would make for an interesting control planeswalker. I could see her being a blue and red Garrick Apex Predator type planeswalker. Yeah, she'd have to be something expensive and big splashy abilities.
Or one that flips when she becomes Dark Phoenix. I think that's kind of cool too.
That would be sweet too. Yeah. Something that you don't have control over, obviously.
Yeah, like if you're below X amount of life, she transforms into Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
Basically, there's trauma. Like when you're about to die, so she like transforms. All right. Kermit says Ant-Man might be cool with the ability to shrink in power and toughness, but become unblockable with hexproof or become really big. His ultimate could be to summon a bunch of ant tokens with different abilities for the different ant types. All right.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. That would be interesting. That's definitely playing into I guess I was gonna say old school Ant-Man, but now that was kind of in the second movie too. They did that quite a bit. All right. Matt N says probably Thor. Having a planeswalker associated with an element seems like a really fun concept you can toy with in terms of abilities and relating them to colors. Yeah, what do you think Thor would be?
Color-wise?
Yeah.
White, green?
Yeah.
As awkward as that sounds.
Yeah, man, which doesn't meld with his
lightning.
Yeah, mechanically.
But
I think
he's not red. He's definitely white green.
Yeah, he is white green. I think he's totally white green.
He's like derpy, but ultimately good.
Yeah. All right.
Next one's in the tank. Iron Man could be artifact based and would theme out well.
Yeah, that would be sweet. It'd be like a Sahili. Iron Man would be like a Sahili type planeswalker, probably, right?
Yeah. Tinker planeswalker.
Yeah. Then we have TK119, probably Doctor Strange. He has a very wizard-like feel that would probably play out quite nicely in the MTG universe.
Okay.
Doctor Strange, let's see. The only like teleporting planeswalker is Venser, but Venser kind of did that with creatures rather than itself. So maybe more like Kaya. I guess Kaya does it.
Kaya blinks, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Next one is from Ethan on Patreon. He says Thanos, cool character, and good white-green villain for the green-white.
For the Great Watch, I think is what he's saying.
Oh, got it. Sorry. Selesnya for the Great Watch. Got it. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. I mean, he is Thanos. MCU Thanos is definitely like Abzan. He's the only thing he's not is red, I think. He's definitely not red. He's also definitely white and definitely black.
He's definitely black, yeah.
He's definitely black and definitely white.
Yeah. I don't think he's green. Maybe just black, white.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think MCU Thanos is green because he wants to bring parity to everything, and he thinks it's for like the betterment of society.
What's MCU mean?
That's the movie universe, Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Okay, so because I'm sure I'm not the only one that doesn't know what that meant.
Okay, yeah, the Marvel Cinematic Universe Thanos. So the one in Infinity War so far. Okay, all right. Let's see. Moving on to.
I think they can be very white though. I think they'd be very white to want you believe in some sort of like balance. That's.
Oh yeah, Thanos is. I
don't think he's green. I think he's black white.
Yeah, he might just be black white, but he's definitely white. He's definitely white. And he's definitely black.
Yeah. So you're up next. Fraser, right?
Yep. I'm just making sure we're not missing any. Okay. I got so Ethan, just making sure we don't miss any. I got one from Patreon from Paul M. Jean Grey / Phoenix. She already has a planeswalker moving in and out of her in the Imkron Crystal. Alternative timelines and the White Hot Room. Dark Phoenix is clearly Rakdos, but I don't know what real Phoenix is. Yeah, I definitely think Dark Phoenix is. Yeah, Dark Phoenix is Rakdos for sure.
Okay, next up we have Fraser. I think Black Panther would make the best planeswalker. He has some of the most epic stories, and honestly would make an incredible addition to the Gatewatch.
He would be one of the first ones to take the oath.
The oath? Yeah.
The oath of the Gatewatch, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. So that's always fun when you can figure those out. And then we have William Johnson. Captain America is my favorite, but the most boring planeswalkers because he's always Mr. Right. Or the most boring because he's always Mr. Right. Iron Man because he's the most flawed and would have the best stories.
Or you can have Captain America with the Hydra one. Alternate
yeah, the short-lived Hydra. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. Let me pick my favorite.
I'm gonna go with Killswitcher 11 again. He said Thanos, and about the 5 abilities on one card, and I really think a planeswalker that melds and becomes like a huge planeswalker with 5 abilities or 6 abilities would be sweet.
Yeah.
So that's my vote. Like it could just be Thanos planeswalker, then maybe the glove could be an artifact, and both on the battlefield they fuse together and make this huge planeswalker that like has all these abilities. So yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go with of the people that answered. I'm gonna go with Curtis S, who said Phoenix be a really cool planeswalker to make like a big powerful, not brute force like Garruk, but more of a magical oriented planeswalker. So kind of in the space between like Bolas and Garruk. Because I do think Phoenix is a great answer. My personal answer would be Magneto. And I do know that someone said Magneto. I'm trying to find who said Baraka said Magneto. He said Magneto, Thanos, and Rocket and Groot. Although I do like that answer quite a bit.
Yes,
but it would be Magneto for me. Magneto is my favorite like comic book character. So seeing him in like planeswalker form, I would say like for comic book fans out there, I would say like Fatal Attraction Magneto. So like basically at his most, like at a high power level, but also very, I don't want to say evil aligned, but very, very kind of black aligned with his ruthlessness. I think would make a sweet planeswalker. Okay.
I'd go. All right.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll say Nightcrawler. Because I know we have Kai as a kind of teleporting one, but Nightcrawler like literally just teleports. And I wonder what his first ability would be, second ability would be, and ultimate would be as a planeswalker as a planeswalker that just like can phase and teleport. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think Nightcrawler would be a sweet one too. Because you can. Do you ever play the 6-player arcade X-Men arcade game?
Probably. Like you don't remember? Oh yes, I did. Yes. So old. Oh my god, yes.
God, it's so great though.
Yeah,
that's one thing that I eventually want to own is a double cabinet that has that game on it.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Actually, never beat that game.
At some point in time. Oh, I've beat it. It probably only cost me $200 in quarters over the course of several years of my life. But I gotta play that game so much. Anyway, Nightcrawler's a special ability in that one. He actually hurts people as he's like teleporting like through them.
I also saw one where a story where whenever he teleports for like a millisecond, he's in a different dimension.
Yep.
And then they explore that dimension. That's kind of cool too. But anyways,
all right. Moving on to question 3. This is your favorite question, Ali. You told me.
Oh my god!
Before
no,
we
it's
were.
Not.
Who would win in a fight? Peak performance Jason Statham or Borgmos on a Tuesday?
All right, let's see these. Cardboard Lord says Jason Statham from Crank specifically.
Yes. So Crank is. Have you seen Crank?
Nope.
He basically has to keep moving or he'll die. Is the short version, and he's crazy. He's just doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Yep. Great answer though. Obviously, Cardboard Lord. Amin P. Jason Statham because the Meg. Obviously, that's another great answer. Yeah, he did. I mean, I think I would say the Meg is more dangerous than Borgmos because it is a giant shark. So,
all right. Kill Switcher says Borgmos on Tuesday. Peak Jason Statham could give him a run for his money, but ultimately would fall short just after saying it's Borborygmos in his Megalodon voice. All right, well, you had me until the very end.
Okay, but why did he have you till the very end?
The Megalodon. Does it have to be Megalodon voice?
Let me give it a shot.
All right, go.
Oh my god. It's the Borgmos.
That was pretty good.
All right, thank you. All right. All right, next up, Severo B. Borgmos because his Tuesdays are lit.
I like that one.
All right, that's a fair answer. That's a fair answer to a fair question. All right.
Curtis says, easily peak performance Jason Statham, especially transportation Jason. Cold, calculated, and way too smooth.
That's true. That's definitely true. He would lure Borgmos into a false sense of security. All right. Let's see. Kermit just says Borgmos.
I like that too.
No explanation.
Just no BS. Just Borgmos.
Yep.
Obviously. Matt N says Borgmos. It's either Gruul or die, and obviously everyone else in this scenario dies other than Borg. I like that too.
Okay. All right. In the Tank MTG, the only thing in existence that can challenge Jason Statham is a young Chuck Norris, which has been confirmed by NASA and the Necronomicon. The
Necronomicon. Necronomicon.
Necronomicon. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's a fair answer too.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
TK19 says, I do love Borborygmos, but I feel Jason Statham has the agility and brains enough to outsmart and outmaneuver Borbo.
Definitely true.
I don't know.
That's factually correct. Factually correct. All right. Let's see. Ethan says, Borgmos, come on now.
All right, Ethan. I like your
That's
style.
a poor answer. Poor answer.
Love your style, Ethan.
All right.
Next one is Fraser. Easily Statham. He beat not one but two Megalodons, and that wasn't even close to peak performance.
That's also factually correct. Man, so many people throwing so many facts out here.
Oh,
I can't even handle all of the facts. Okay. And then last pulling from Patreon, Paul M. And this was also what I said. Jason, I don't think Borbo is bigger than the Meg. Totally not. I absolutely agree. Yeah, Borbo not bigger than the Meg. And Ollie, you can get the last one.
Fraser?
From William Johnson. Oh, did I say Fraser? Did we say Fraser yet?
Yeah, I said Fraser.
Okay, yeah, so you can get Williams.
I don't have that one. Oh, I see it here. Sorry. Statham, 100%, not close. He just punched him in the eye.
Right in the one eye. That's the thing. Okay, so let me tell you something about this. There was no chance for Borgmos on this one. He only has one eye. Jason Statham only has one thing that needs to punch. And that's it.
Okay. Before I give my best answer, I just want to say William had a really good answer. So did In the Tank. The only thing that matters, or just since I could challenge him, is Chuck Norris, and which confirmed by NASA and Necronomicon. But you guys get the wrong answer. But it was a good answer. I'm gonna have to go with Ethan, who said Borborygmos. Come on now.
Unsurprisingly from Ali. All right. I'm going to give mine to Fraser because he has easily Statham. Easily. He beat two Megalodons and he was not even close to peak performance. That was old, retired Jason Statham. I think if you can beat two Megalodons, peak performance Jason Statham can probably just easily take out.
All right, my answer for this question is Borborygmos. Come on now.
And that was Ethan's answer.
That's my answer too.
All right. Question 4.
Right. Rank these from least evil to most evil. Nicol Bolas, Joffrey Baratheon, Verizon Wireless.
Excellent.
Cardboard Lord says, least evil, Nicol Bolas. While very evil, Nicol Bolas is this classic bad guy thing where he doesn't just kill his enemies when he can. Instead, he keeps them around out of some inner desire to be entertained. True evil, Joffrey and Verizon would just kill whatever is stopping them at the time so they could do even more evil stuff unopposed. Second most evil, Joffrey, while pure evil, he isn't as calculated as Verizon, nor does he ruin as many lives. Most evil, Verizon Wireless. As a Canadian, I have had no dealings with them directly, but I know that the true scum in the multiverse are phone companies. They are more sinister and slimy than Joffrey riding Nicol Bolas to the wall and burning it down. That's a good answer.
Oh man, that's a great one. Oh god, that's the first answer. All right, guys.
You got a competition.
Okay, all right. Amin P says, Joffrey, Bolas, Verizon. Joffrey was ruined by Cersei. He's a terrible human, but that's because of his mom. Bolas is very sinister, but after the Magic 2019 story, I have a more understanding for why he's doing what he's doing. Verizon's the worst because they have no excuse for their evil.
I don't think Joffrey and Bolas have an excuse after X period of time, but I see where you're coming from.
All right.
The next one is...
looks like Kill Switcher.
Kill Switcher. Joffrey Baratheon, Nicol Bolas, Verizon Wireless.
Okay.
No explanation?
None needed, maybe.
Kill Switcher? No, man. All right, good.
Okay. Severo B. Most to least. So most to least.
Yep.
Joffrey, Bolas, Verizon. Joffrey's evilness is completely purposeless and cruel. It's not in the service of some greater plan, just pure villainy. Bolas has a plan in his own twisted way. On some level, he thinks he's doing what's right or smart. It's his blue showing. But he's clearly willing to destroy entire universes in service of his warped desires. Verizon is like Stringer Bell level evil. That's a Great Wire reference. He thinks he's smarter than he is, but ultimately he has no code. And it keeps him from achieving his ultimate aims. All right. That's fair.
All right. So Curtis says, Least to most, Verizon, Joffrey, and Nicobolus. Dang. Joffrey's just a troubled child who was in a way overset. Nicobolus is the essence of pure evil, even if it were portrayed as being too mainstream. Verizon's actually not that bad. The true evil is AT&T. Ever wonder where Tibble went? He's here leading AT&T.
Oh, God. It's great. All right. Kermit says least to most. Nicobolus, Joffrey, Verizon.
All right. Matt N says least is Bolus, Joffrey, then Verizon. I can sympathize with Bolus and his motivation for his quest for ultimate power, and it's almost 2019. So how does Verizon not have their stuff together for quality? We're in the age of internet and technology. No excuse for bad service.
That's the truth. All right. In the tank, MTG, Joffrey, Bolus, then Verizon. Verizon is the heart of all evil, and Bolus is pretty damn evil, but he's evil in that PG setting way, while Joffrey's evil in an incest and beheading narrative. Gotta scale accordingly. That's fair. That's very fair.
All right. Next up, we have TK 119, Nicobolus, Verizon Wireless, and then Joffrey Baratheon.
And that's from least to most.
Yes.
All right. And then we have Ethan says least to most, Joffrey, Nicobolus, Verizon, because only one of those three monsters can affect the real world. That's true.
It's true.
Though I've definitely seen some people get into arguments over Joffrey that had some real world consequences.
All right. Next one is Fraser. Least to most, Joffrey. He's a kid who still knows nothing, so I can't expect much. Bolus, obviously for the middle one. And they said Verizon. I don't have any bad experiences, but they have done some bad things a la the Empire.
That's definitely true. They're very real world Empire-esque. And then from Patreon, Paul M. Nicobolus, Joffrey, Verizon. At least Nicobolus has reasons. Joffrey and Verizon are needlessly cruel.
All right, I'm going to go with in the tank MPG.
So, okay, well, I was going to say. And then William said Bolus, Verizon, Joffrey from least to most.
Sorry, William. Still gonna go in the tank MPG. Their answer was Joffrey, Bolus, and Verizon. Verizon, the heart of all evil, which I agree with. I don't agree with Bolus' evil. I think he's just, someone that wants ultimate power. I just like Verizon being the heart of evil because that's heart of all evil, which is true. Because now they're Spectrum, but still the same thing.
Well, that's Spectrum is Time Warner Cable.
Whatever. Verizon sucks too.
All right. I'm going with Cardboard Lord.
I knew it.
Said Nicobolus is least evil because he does do the classic bad guy thing. He toys with people. He just toys with them. And he's like, you're not truly evil unless you're just ruthless. And Joffrey is definitely a terrible human being, but that was also cultivated somewhat. Like, he didn't start out as terrible as he ended up, but he definitely started out pretty bad. He just got more terrible by his environment, for sure. And Verizon, because they literally have no excuse. They're just the worst ever, and there's no escaping. Everyone is under their rule in some way or form. Because even if you don't have Verizon, whatever phone company you have, what they're trying to do has been molded by what Verizon does, and they're just the worst ever.
All right. Next up is our last question. What is your favorite Magic card, and how do you change it so it could print in standard? Cardboard says Leovold, Emissary of Trust. I honestly think Leovold would be mostly fine in standard and would help deal with the Niv and Teferi issue. Maybe make him a 3/2 so he can die to shock. No, I think a 3/3 is fine. I think Leovold's completely fine for standard.
Yeah, I think so too. Man, maybe good. Probably fine.
I think
probably.
I think it's more than fine, but
okay. Next up, Amin P. Sylvanas Stampede is my favorite non-standard based card, and thinks it would be fine in standard. To be honest, that card would be fine. I think Sylvanas Stampede would be totally fine. And it would be fun. You could definitely... There are certainly environments where there's enough big stuff that are not unreasonable to cast, where you can play those cards. See, it's in these like a summoning trap / see the unwritten / tooth and nail style card. So yeah, those are always good.
All right. Baraka says Stitch Together. No changes. Just bring back Threshold. Stitch Together is a good one.
Stitch Together is powerful, but definitely not too powerful for standard. Not where we are now.
No, not. We also don't have anything great to animate. So
yeah, for Stitch Together, it's weird because like Stitch Together, when it was in standard the first time, the card itself was definitely too powerful, but the things surrounding it weren't too powerful. Now it's like the creatures are outrageously powerful, but the spell itself is like not that high up on the power level scale comparatively.
Yep. Yeah, by the way, Stitch Together is a double black card that says return a creature from a graveyard to your hand. If you have Threshold, put it on the battlefield instead.
Yep.
So basically,
it's a super sweet card.
Yep.
Okay. Who's up? Me or you?
You for Severo.
Okay, Severo B. My favorite Magic card, Gutter Snipe, which is currently in standard. Long may it last. Also, maybe a Sociopath. I think Gutter Snipe is great. Although I have died to that card, and I think every format it's been legal.
Even Amazonian Draft. Kill Switcher 11 says Grizzlebrand. Change it to CMC 8. Or keep it CMC 8. Flying Lifelink 7/7. The ability would change to pay 7 life, draw 7 cards, activate only a sorcery, and only once per turn.
Yeah, that's good. I think in standard it's probably about the same thing, but the fact that you can't do it in a turn is probably...
I think Grizzlebrand bringing back is just fine too, honestly. Costs 8 mana.
That's a good change for it though.
Sure.
That's a good change for it though. All right. Curtis S. My favorite card is Anguish Unmaking. Everything from the flavor, how the card plays, and the art. I think the card is perfectly fine for standard today. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. Kermit says Ashiok, but I'll rework the abilities because I want a new version of Ashiok, but an old version will be fine standard. It's also very true. Ashiok's a sweet planeswalker. I'd love to see her again sometime with different abilities.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we're both big Ashiok fans, so we're with you on that one. All right, next up is Matt N. Siege Rhino. Siege Rhino is probably one of the top Magic cards I've cast most in the past 10 years. Also really got me into standard / competitive during the cons era, which was the best era during my competitive play and really pushed the boundaries in terms of deck building past 2 colors. That is definitely true, and I think we're going to be headed in a similar direction here soon. My all-time best constructed deck, I had creative thinking of making Abzan red deck for 60-card multiplayer when me and my friends played casually. Siege Rhino alongside Crackling Doom and Sorin Grim Nemesis, Archangel Avacyn, and a Whip of Erebos. Yeah, that sounds great. Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, sounds fun.
Did so much damage every opponent was insane. Scale it down for standard, probably make it a 3/4 trample for 4 mana and make it lose 2, gain 2.
I think Siege Rhino is fine as the way he is.
Maybe 4/4 though.
Maybe 4/4.
Yeah, I think the 5 toughness. Just knock off that 5th toughness.
Yeah, that's probably it though.
That unnecessary toughness.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
In the tank MTG says, here we go.
Oh,
Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Hold on, this is our friend Brad Shepard.
Jace the Mind Sculptor, and to start it would need to cost 5 because that's the new industry standard. Obviously, we need to draw cards, so I would make it +1 draw a card. +1 draw card, unsummon is a little outplayed. And -1 is way too cheap, so I would make it something like -3, but let the ability hit any non-land permanent. So -3 disperse, +1 draw card. Also, instead of bouncing, I would put it on top of the library. Wait, no, 3rd from the top, so we have a little time to plan around it. Oh god.
Keep going.
I'd have him start on 4 because if he comes in at -3, then he'll probably die. So that seems fair. I guess my -8 ultimate would win you the game, but just like Jace Mind Sculptor killed you, but it didn't in the game. I figured something like whenever you draw a card, exile a permanent and opponent controls. Yeah, that seems good. But I don't think Mono Blue can have interaction with any permanent, so we'd have to make him 3 blue-white. Looking back over it for a multicolored planeswalker, a generic draw 1 card plus seems weak, so I'd add during your end step untap 2 lands. Yeah, that seems perfectly fair for standard. I hope Watts reads this. Monk-ass.
I just don't know. Still don't know what that means. All right. That's a great answer. Lingering Souls from Ethan. Reprinted as a black-white 3-drop 1/1 flying spirit that makes a spirit token on ETB and has Afterlife 2. Well, maybe we get that. Maybe we get something like that. That would be sweet. Right. I like that one.
Then we got Jasper. Good old response. I stubbornly play this card in both my modern sideboard and EDH because of the concentrated joy I feel in popping off a Cyclonic Rift, a Cryptic Command, or even a cheeky Remand with by Still Red Mana and a Grunt.
Yeah, that's great.
I think it'd be fine standard as is, and also be bad.
I actually disagree. Go Response was like, that was a staple in standard when it was
sideboard card, yeah.
Played. Yeah. I mean, sure. It was in. It didn't see main deck play in tier 1 decks for sure. But I mean, I think that that would immediately be a standard staple if it would be reprinted.
Sure.
All right. Next up is Fraser. My favorite Magic card is Snapcaster Mage, and I'd probably just make it cost 2 and a blue for standard. 1 and blue might be too good. Yeah, 1 and blue is too good for every format, I think.
That's fair.
Two and a blue is still probably awfully good.
I don't know, man. You're pushing it. Like, Gear Hulk was really good. I think it's fine. Like,
yeah.
You'd have to pump its power and toughness for 2 and blue. You can't just make it 2/1 for 2 and blue. It's just too bad. I think you make it like a 3/2 or 3/2 probably. 2/3 is too good. So probably 3/2. All right. So William Johnson says, I play a lot of Jund, so be close between Lily and Thoughtseize, but I choose Thoughtseize. Barf. I don't think there's a way. It's just too good.
Good man. All right, and last one, Paul M. says, Azor the Lawbringer, but instead it's just an instant version of his attack trigger ability.
A what?
He just wants Azor the Lawbringer, but he just wants it to be an instant version of his attack trigger ability.
Oh, so basically Sphinx Relation on a stick?
No, he just wants an instant.
I don't see. He wants Sphinx for Revelation.
Yes, that's what he's saying.
Got it. Okay.
Great.
All right. Well, you go first this time if you have one.
I mean, I don't know. Okay, so the best answer is in the Tank MTG.
That's
However,
true.
It's not a real answer. It's the best answer, but it's not a real answer, so I'm not going to pick that one. But I will admit that it's the best answer.
Definitely, I agree with the best answer.
Yes. I'm gonna go with Matt N with Siege Rhino, because I actually think Siege Rhino is a great standard card, and it was just like one knob was tweaked a little too high.
I'm going with Kermit for Ashiok. I love seeing Ashiok, but I agree that in the Tank MTG was the best answer.
Yeah.
As far as card I want to see printed in standard, I would go with Increasing Ambition, but instant speed.
Sure.
Increasing Ambition costs 1 black and 4. It says to your 2/2 library for a card put in your hand, and then it has flashback.
7 or 8.
7 or 8, and you tutor for 2 cards. Actually, I lied. Just bring back Mastermind's acquisition.
Dude, you have it for another 10 months.
I want it again, but instant speed this time.
That's greedy.
It is greedy. That's what I want.
But that's not. That's not like making it. You're trying to make it okay for standard.
It's okay for standard. I'm the only person that plays that card. No one else plays it.
Yeah, you play it so good though.
It's true.
All right. My answer.
Like, if I didn't play that card and I said what I said, you'd be like, "Yeah, I think you're right." Because nobody would play that card. You'd be like, "Yeah, that's probably fine for standard."
Instant speed's really. I think people would play it if it's an instant though. I think that card would probably be like a staple if it was an instant. The flexibility is just really ridiculous.
All right, may cost 5 an instant.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
The only reason I say it 4 is because that's 1 mana off of Cunning Wish, which was like a staple when it was in standard. And
yeah,
the spells are better now.
it's true.
So, my answer is Cabal Therapy, but it needs to cost 1 in a black to cast, and a single black to flashback. And I think that's fine for standard.
Okay, I agree with that.
All right, that's all of our questions. I think we've got them. I think we hit everyone.
Yeah, we did. We hit every single one.
Excellent. A lot of good answers. A lot of really great answers, guys. Appreciate that. If you obviously, hopefully this is not going to be the only time we do this. So hopefully next time, if you guys are not Patreon supporters, you can go to patreon.com/ThinkTwiceMTG. We have a $1 Augur of Bolus here, which gives you access to this Discord channel, among other things. So maybe just consider that if you want to be involved in this conversation, because it was definitely a lot of fun. Some of these answers are really fantastic. But all right, that's part 1. Are you ready for part 2?
Yep.
Okay, so part 2, we're going to be looking at questions live. Never seen them before, and we're going to do our best to answer them. We'll be back with that in just a moment. All right, Ollie. What might become a yearly Think Twice tradition? Not saying it will, but I'm not saying it won't. Are you ready to click on the channel of the questions that we've not looked at?
I already clicked just now.
Okay, I'm clicking on it too. All right. So we were letting people ask us questions, and we're just going to go through and answer them. All right.
All right. Yeah, depends who they're directed to. So Cardboard Lord asks, has magic ever helped you through a dark part of your life, and if so, how? He doesn't specify Justin or I, so that's probably asking both of us. I'll answer with yes, a lot. It lets me not think about stuff when I'm going through dark times. Even just now. Obviously, a breakup happened earlier this year. Magic is a nice way to not think about things that are happening in real life. It's a nice escape for me.
For me, yeah, for sure. Because Magic to me, I've been playing. 2019 is actually going to be my 20th anniversary for playing Magic, and that's kind of been the backbone of my life now for 20 years. And I've had relationships with people, romantic relationships, going through middle school, high school, college, multiple jobs. And the thing that always is there is Magic and the Magic community. So I know when I need to kind of have that supplement my regular life and lean on that I can. And the fact that this is the greatest game in the world, and it's a pretty great community too. So without getting too specific, I'll say it definitely has in times where I needed to spend more time on it to kind of distract me from other stuff going on. And that's definitely been at several points in my life. So yeah, big time for both of us, I think.
Yep. Second question he asks is, do you think, let's first together, do you think you could design a complete and healthy standard set following all the typical restrictions, themes, goals? I answer yes to that first part.
I answer yes, big time. I think. Go ahead.
Good.
Yeah, go ahead.
Then he says, which plane would you base it off? It can be your own, but you have to describe it. And what would be the flavor?
All right,
go
ahead. We're gonna say the same thing.
We basically did this.
Yep.
We designed our own. We designed our own cube. We started the lore for it. Justin was the lore person behind it, which is kind of cool. But we never completely finished the lore. We had it basically like roughed out.
Yeah, we had the outline of it.
Yeah, I do believe we could definitely do this together.
I think so too. I don't think I could do it working my job right now, but I think if you gave me a year and Ollie a year and you paid us so we could, live,
Yeah. I see what you're just saying. Do you think you can just do it?
Just could do it?
Like, yeah.
Oh, I think
absolutely.
we could definitely do it. I think we'd do a whole standard.
I do too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, if the bottom of the bar is like Kaladesh and Amonkhet year, yeah, we could do that
easily.
Yeah, for sure.
Number 3, have you ever caught yourself or your friends cheating accidentally or otherwise? Okay. In a tournament setting, and how do you handle it? First off, cheating, no one cheats on an accident. Cheating is with intent. If you do something on accident, it's a mistake. So, however, caught someone cheating, so something with malicious intent, like knowing they're making that error on purpose. I can't for sure say, but I want to say I'll lean more towards yes. And it was someone at the Pro Tour when I probed them. I won't name names, but when I probed them and they revealed their hand, they had 8 cards, and the way they handled the situation just seemed really kind of sketchy, and how they lied about the whole thing. So I'm going to say maybe, but leaning towards yes. As far as someone making a mistake, that happens all the time. If you play Magic enough, you travel enough, you will catch people making mistakes all the time. And that I've caught multiple people, friends, non-friends, making mistakes a lot. How do I handle it? Sorry, I usually correct it if I see it.
So the only thing that I think, I definitely agree that the word cheating implies intent. I've definitely made mistakes myself. Like I've not like de-sideboarded. And you just call a judge on yourself every time, which is what I've done multiple times. I've watched Ali, and he's played a second land for his turn. I know it's not malicious. When that happens, I just call judge. I mean, like, even if I'm watching, I'll just stop the match and then just call the judge, and then they usually backtrack it.
I guess with intent also. I guess Alex Bertini. I've seen videos.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him a friend though.
Okay, you're right. Yeah,
it says yourself or friends. So
okay, then no. A friend. Oh, a friend. Then no. Sorry, the person who played the Pro Tour was not a friend.
Yeah.
So then a friend, no. I don't want to associate myself with people that intentionally cheat in Magic.
I definitely have been associated with someone that cheated a long time ago, and that ended our friendship. And it's not that we were like close friends, but that's just, it's like, well, we just feel differently about this, so we're not going to spend any more time together.
You elaborate or no?
I mean, we're talking like 15 years ago. I was in like high school.
Still, what situation?
Like drawing a card without their opponent noticing.
Oh, they did it on purpose because they.
Yeah, did it on purpose.
What was reasoning?
Just to get an advantage. It was an F&M.
That's awful. Okay.
Yeah. They got caught. Ironically enough, because their opponent cast Cabal Therapy.
Nice. Okay, that's funny. Yeah. Cardboard Lord. Last question. If you had to design a card, what would it be? Type, subtype, color, cost, effect, flavor, text.
Let's circle this one. If we have enough time, then maybe we can come back to this one. But I think that's a long answer. Why
don't we just name our favorite cube design card that we designed? Do you have one in mind?
Yeah, you designed my favorite one.
That's fine. Just name that one.
It is a 2/1 for 2 and a white with flying, and just says when it enters the battlefield, counter target spell, unless its controller pays 1. And I would change that to non-creature spell to make it more in line with white's taxing stuff. But that's such a sick card. I'd love to play with that card. Ollie made that one in isolation.
It's essentially mana tithe on a creature, is what I went for.
Yep.
I think you designed this. I'm not sure. Craze Tutor. Do you know to design that one?
I designed that one. Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite is Craze Tutor. It's 1 red, an instant. Oh my god.
I can remember. I'll just tell you. It's 1 red, an instant.
Good.
Pick search your library for 3 cards. Set 2 of them aside, search the library for 3 cards, set one of them aside face down, shuffle the other 2 back into your deck, and then put the last card remaining on top.
So basically, you get to tutor for 3 cards, different names, essentially, because it's cube, and then you get to put
Yeah, this was designed for cube, yeah.
Yeah. Thing is, this one had flavor text. I don't remember the flavor text, but yeah.
And my goal for this card was make a red tutor that goes in line with the Mirage and Vision block tutors, because there wasn't a red one. Gamble's the closest thing, and this is like the red version of the instant speed gamble, I thought. So
yeah, it was really sweet. It was a really sweet one. I liked it a lot.
Awesome.
All right. Next question. Ollie, how do the steps in your brewing process go?
And this is from Viley on Discord.
Yes. Like, what sparks an idea, and how do you get from neat card to a working deck like Chromatic Black? And how do you know when a brew isn't working versus it is needing a rework to make it viable?
That's a great question.
So my brewing process happens multiple different ways. It's not always the same way. For example, I might see a card like, man, I really want to play this card. Like for Rainbow Lich, I saw Transfer Glory. I was like, I really want to play this card. The only way I can play is with either by playing aggro, which I wasn't going to do, or play Lich's Mastery. And it started out as like okay, I'll try this. I don't think it's good, but as I'm playing the deck, it's much easier for me to tell when deck is going to work or brew's going to work when I'm playing it, because I can tell when it has game or when it's really close, or what the deck's trying to do is very powerful, and from there I can tune it. The same thing happened with Chromatic Black. Basically, I started with Mono Black, added Chromatic Lantern for like a meme value, for fun value with the visit, and I was playing as a joke, but the core of the deck was powerful as because of Cabal Stronghold. And you start winning, then you're like, okay, well, let me shave these other multicolored cards and make it like more competitive. Just keeping the visit and just like make it a competitive deck, and that's what happened. I know when a brew isn't working when the card you're trying to brew around is awful versus the metagame, or just awful in general. Like, for example, I've tried to brew around Fraying Omnipotence, which is basically a not death cloud, pox.
Bad pox, but yeah.
It's a pox that doesn't hit lands. It's even worse. After playing a couple times, it's just awful. Like, whenever you cast it, you just die. You cast it against any deck that has any kind of pressure on you, you just die. After playing that like for 3 games, I can tell, okay, this is just not playable at all. It just doesn't do anything. And that's when it's more feeling while playing the deck than anything else. And this feeling has been adapted and evolved and changed after 10 years of doing it. And basically I get this feeling like, okay, this is viable, it's not viable. But always while brewing with a card, I keep the metagame in mind. So I know what cards I need to beat X, Y, and Z deck, or what's good against X, Y, and Z deck.
How I like to envision it is the metagame is a box. Not the metagame. All of the cards available are in a box, exactly a perfect square, right? And the metagame is a circle within that box. It starts out very wide. So the circle touches the left, the right, the top, and the bottom, right? And there's still room on the corners, right? Because it's a circle. So there's a little space in the corners. You're visually following this, Ollie?
Yes.
All right. Ollie works with his brews in those spaces. And as the metagame shrinks, as that circle gets smaller and the metagame gets narrower and narrower, Ollie gets... It's like a crosshairs. And the smaller it gets, the more room he has to work and identify ways to target the metagame.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
Is this a good analogy?
It's a good analogy. Yeah.
So
yeah, the less decks there are to beat, the better my brews become.
Yep.
Next question. Ollie, if you had to make a guess, which deck do you think will have the highest peak throughout its standard lifetime? Chromatic Black or Rainbow Lich?
This is actually a secretly great question.
Why is that?
I'll let you answer it.
Okay. Um, this is really hard because Chromatic Black currently is a lot better than Rainbow Lich, because of what it's doing. Like, what it's doing is very powerful and straightforward. The only problem is it doesn't gain much from new expansions happening. Chromatic Black doesn't gain like new cards. Like, sure, you're playing Lantern, but like the cards you're gonna put on your sideboard. So like, is there gonna be a card better than Zakama? Probably not. There might be a card that's like really powerful, but basically what I'm trying to say is Chromatic Black can't change much at all. Now, Rainbow Lich, on the other hand, can adapt drastically. It can become a 3-color deck or 4-color deck. It can take any cards it wants and put it in the deck. For example, like Absorb was spoiled, which was counter spell against your life. You could essentially make a Esper Lich deck with Absorb. Rainbow Lich has a lot more tools, but the power of Chromatic Black is like, it's like a hammer compared to a Swiss Army knife. It's really hard to say which one's better. Chromatic Black is better right now, but I can't really say which is going to be better after Red Allegiance. If I had to guess, oh man, I would say. That is the question. I think I'd probably go with Rainbow Lich. Just because I think, huh?
That's what I thought you would say.
I think because you can definitely just make it less colors and more narrow and stronger. Like if you want to be a control deck with like Thought Erasure and Absorb, you can. If you want to be more Orzhov based, depending on what Orzhov cards you get, you can. If you want to incorporate Duress main deck to the end game, you can. Like the door is almost wide open for Rainbow Lich to be competitive. Like it just needs time. The deck needs a lot of time to tune and work around. It's because the deck is not straightforward at all. It's probably the most complicated deck that I've ever designed.
I also think that it's at its least powerful, the lower number of cards in Standard, and the more cards in Standard, the more powerful that deck gets. So,
absolutely, especially just the Shocklands alone help it out. The mana base alone it goes up.
Yep.
Right. What was your favorite movie that came out in 2018?
And favorite Magic card came out in 2018. We're gonna answer that next week.
Yes,
that's gonna be part of our reflecting poll episode next week. So we'll get to that.
All right. Next question. This is right. I think for both of us.
Yep.
How long did it take the two of you to recognize your preferred colors? Parnell.
And has that changed?
And had that changed over the course of your Magic playing history?
All right. So my answer for this is, I'm known for playing black more so than every other color. So that's definitely the color that I'm most associated with, and it's definitely the color that I prefer. Like if I could only pick one color to play, it would be black. It did not take long. The second deck that I made in ever was a Suicide Black deck, where the goal was to cast Dark Ritual on turn 1 and cast either Phyrexian Negator or Lurking Evil. Lurking Evil is an enchantment that costs black. It says pay half of your life. Lurking Evil becomes a 4/4 flying creature. Horror. So basically you play one of those creatures on turn 1, and then you kill your opponent in 4 to 5 turns. And you also had Duress and Snuff Out. So black, I realized very early on, even when I was like 12, 13 years old, that using your life total and your creatures as resources was incredibly valuable. And it's like unlocks like a hidden mode of Magic when you realize you get to use your life as a resource. And black did it really aggressively then, or use like short bursts of mana. So black has been my favorite color in the entire history of me playing Magic, and that has not ever changed. And it's kind of just gotten better the farther in we go, because black can do everything. It's the only color that can pretty much do every single thing, but for a cost.
Outside of colorless cards can literally do everything.
Yes, but the cost is significantly greater for colorless. That's true.
Yep. When I first started playing Magic, I fell in love with black blue. Like, I loved Guilt Theater, which is basically, it was an awful card, but when it says when attacked, it has 0 power, so like 0/4. Whenever you hit your opponent, it dealt them X damage, X number of cards in their graveyard. And I liked blue because made me feel like I could control the pace of the game because of counter magic. I won nationals with blue black control. I was very much a control player. I was known as a control player. That's what I played. I always play control. As time progressed, I lost interest in control for whatever reason and started growing towards green. I loved ramping. I loved casting these big spells. I loved doing things that other people were too afraid to do or couldn't do or didn't want to do. And green was the color that lets you do all that, because the power of ramping into these quote unquote unplayable cards that do powerful things is what green did best. And now currently I don't have a secret or not. Just it's not a secret to Justin, but I think a lot of people would be surprised if I told them my favorite color in Magic is definitely green.
Yeah, for sure.
So I've gone from blue black to green. I still like blue, but green is my favorite base because I feel like green is an excellent color to help with any way you want to go as far as color wise. If you want to splash green, it's great. If you want to like make green your base and have splash other colors, it's great. Like Our Promise type decks or Gift of Paradise type decks. So green is definitely my favorite because I feel like it's the best color for brewing.
It unlocks the rest of the colors as long as you have that as the root.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, next question. Rank these 3 cards in standard from best to worst. Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, History of Benalia, Mastermind's Acquisition. All
right, since you said from best to worst, not from like fun or anything.
Best to worst.
Exactly. I'm gonna do this the way you had it, which is Teferi, History, then Masterminds.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, yeah, that's me being honest.
Fun, it goes the opposite direction.
Correct.
Actually, History of Benalia is at least fun. Teferi's more fun than History of Benalia.
Not to me, but sure.
How many times have you cast History of Benalia?
A lot. Out of my sideboard.
How many times have you cast
Teferi decks?
You've cast Teferi way more.
Than History of Benalia?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right.
But History is probably more fun. Sure. I guess Teferi's more fun. Kind of. I don't even know, man. It's pretty bland. They're both pretty bland. Next question. Is there something in a game of Magic you haven't done that you wish you could do or could have done? Something in a game of Magic? I've done everything I want to do in game Magic.
Wow. For me, probably. There's in like on Commander Versus, what I want to do is kill people in the most ridiculous ways possible. So I don't even know. Whatever, like, I literally don't have like a specific bucket list. It's more of a I know it when I see it type thing. So,
well, mine is, just so you know this, there's times where like I want to do something and I'll do it. Like it could be like from casting Transfer Glory with Glitch's Mastery, or Justin has seen me board in Sorin's Vengeance and which deals 10 damage to your opponent and gains 10 life. And Justin's like, okay, I don't think this is good, but always doing this for the camera.
Yep.
It happens.
It's a great
story. It literally works out.
Yeah.
Opponent goes, I think Kibler's watching my match. He's commentating on my match. I attack with like Carpet.
This is at GP, by the way, this is at GP Pittsburgh in like 2008, 9. Whenever Soren's Vengeance was insane, or GP Pittsburgh of that year.
Yeah. So I was like chipping here and there, and the whole time commentators are like, what's he doing? Why is he doing that? I don't get it. This weird. This attack is weird. That block is weird. Why is he attacking here? It only puts his opponent at 10. And then finally I cast Soren's Vengeance. He's like, okay, now all his plays make sense. All of his plays make sense now. It's like, and that's so yeah. There's plenty of times where if I want to do something game Magic, I will do it.
Yeah, he will bend everything to his will to just do it, whether it's good or not.
It's true.
Yeah, and definitely with the Sword's Vengeance, when we're deciding before, because I was asking me my opinion, and I was like, I don't think this is good. However, I think you're going to be on camera this tournament. And I think if you can kill someone with Sword's Vengeance on camera, then it will all be worth it no matter how many other times you set it in.
It's true.
And it happened round one.
Yeah, round one,
great.
yeah.
All right. Let's see. Sneal asks, has your interest in Magic ever waned? If so, what brought you back in? For me, this might come as a surprise to some of you, but I actually, James' account with Gala Block did cause me to quit playing Magic for a year and a half. Mirrodin block was very frustrating for most Magic players, and it had the highest degree of people leaving the game. And Kamigawa block I hated. If you want to know why, you can go back and listen to the episode the one where Justin talks about Kamigawa. I came back because Magic's the greatest game in the world, and no one quits. People just take breaks. I came back the Future Sight pre-release, and I tried to fill my Magic void with other things. Like I played Pokemon competitively, not the trading card game, but the Game Boy game. For a little while, I started playing video games again, which I haven't really done since. But it's not the same as Magic. It's like playing in Magic tournaments and like deck building, and the community is just there's not really a replacement for it. So that's the only time in 20 years, like 18 months from like Betrays of Kamigawa to Future Sight. They tricked me, and I missed all of Ravnica, but we're back for the third time, so I've made up my ground. All right, Ollie.
I also quit after Kamigawa. I missed all of Ravnica, missed all of Time Spiral, all of Future Sight. I came back in Lorwyn, so I just completely missed the first Ravnica. Completely missed it.
Yeah, I did too.
It was because of, for me, it wasn't because of Kamigawa. It was because of Affinity and how just degenerate that deck was and how unfun it was. Stupid, whatever. So I stopped then. And currently now, when I take breaks from Magic, it's usually a format or I stop traveling in tournaments. And it's usually when Standard is really stale or it's too powerful. Like, there's one deck that's too powerful, so you can't brew or do anything with it. And you're forced to play that deck. And I hate those tournaments. I hate those metagames where it's Caw-Blade. And it's I guess Caw-Blade was bad definition. There's one that was, Caw-Blade's good definition, I guess, but even though I beat it. But there's sometimes there's just decks that are just absurdly powerful. If you're not playing them, then you're just doing yourself a disservice, and I hate those metagames.
Yep, that's why I stopped playing. That's a good answer. It's good question too, Snail.
Ollie, have you ever lost? This is from Cardboard Lord. Ollie, have you ever lost to one of your brews in a competitive event? And if so, what that feel like? Anytime at least one of my brews, I'm always happy. I honestly beat my brews more so than lose to them. I think I've lost to just a handful of my brews because I built the deck and I know what we need to stop, we don't need to stop, and what the sideboard is. Basically, I know the ins and outs. But when I do lose to it, it makes me feel proud. It's like losing to your son. It's like your son playing in Mario Kart and they beat you finally, and you're like, all right, that's awesome, congrats. Because it's ultimately in my head it's me winning because I've succeeded and it's someone's playing my deck and beating with it.
That's good. Good question. Good answer. Justin, is there a commander deck you've always wanted to play or build but never had the chance to? What would it be and why? I don't know if there's anything that I haven't ever played that I've wanted to. I'm in a fortunate situation where that doesn't, I can kind of get around that by virtue of Commander Versus. So anything that I want to play, I can pretty much play it. There's sometimes when new cards come out, I haven't, there's just a few new cards that I just haven't had a chance to play, like Varina, the Esper zombie creature legend. I want to play that one. It's usually just stuff in the last year that I haven't had a chance to play. So there's definitely decks that I've wanted to play more than I've got a chance to, and I just haven't had a chance to go back to them. Like Aetherios God of Passage is one that I always say that I want to play again. Crush the Bloodbraided, which I actually played for the first time with Commander Versus this past episode. So if you go back at the 26th of December episode, And that one, spoiler alert, didn't go exactly how I wanted it to, so I would want another chance to play that one. So it's more about getting chances to play things multiple times rather than just once for me.
Nice. Good answer. And good question. Next question. For both of us, by Kermit, have you guys ever thought about hosting some sort of Patreon gaming day or tournament? Could be a Magic tournament or Commander games, or even just a day where people could play other games with a Discord community. I don't know what other people play, but I think I'll used to play Here's the Storm. I'll be honest, I never thought about it, but it does seem like a cool idea.
Yeah, I agree. I think organizing something like that is probably more credit than some people might be giving it, but yeah, no, I'm up for that if we could get it figured out. For sure.
Maybe make it a goal, a Patreon goal.
Yeah, that's actually cool. Sweet, because we do want, we're always open to ideas for us to have more ways to interact with you guys. But I'm gonna be honest, our time, not that you guys' time is not valuable, but with all of the content that we're making, it's gotta, oftentimes when we do something like that, it generally has to come at the expense of something else. So if we can make it a goal, then we can actually kind of work it into like our podcast scheduling, or because otherwise we're working around Ollie's streaming or my actual work. So as long as it's not coming at the expense of something else, and when we can actually make it worthwhile for us to do, then that's definitely something we could probably figure out, try to do.
Yeah, I get Justin.
All right,
next
cool.
question from Baraka. How much would it cost for a copy of the custom cube you both created?
Well, we can't charge for it.
Yeah. Second, we can't find the last file. I have the newest version of the cube in my possession, but no one else has it. And I've talked to Justin about this. We'd have to go back to the cube of that was like a year-old file and fix the file, and that in itself would take probably like
a while,
20 hours worth of work, or maybe 24 hours worth of work at least, maybe more.
At least, yeah.
And we both Justin doesn't have time, and it's really hard for me to fit that in. I really want to do it. I want to remake it and be able to give out to people, and it'd be free. We can't charge for it, but
nor would we want to.
Yeah. I think it's an awesome product, and I love the new version of the cube. So
yeah, it's like I just don't have the desire to do that again because it's a significant amount of work. Like I don't have the time or want to do it. Like if I could snap my fingers and have it done, I would definitely do that. But I'm not. No, I
definitely want to do it.
Yeah,
I definitely want to do it, and I have the desire to do it. I just don't have the time to do it.
Yeah. We'll let you guys know if anything ever comes of that, though. Because this is a question we get every once in a while, not just from you, but from all sorts of people. So,
and I'll try to bring the cube anytime I travel to events from now on, because more and more people are asking about it. I'll just bring my copy. We can play sometime. William asks, considering you both worked for different retailers, MTG, not really. I'm sorry, TK. Daniel asks, considering you both work for different retailers, MTG product and singles, does that ever come up between you two? Nothing against SCG, Justin, but the reward program of Cool Stuff Inc. hooked me years ago. I know it may be a biased response. Just curious on your two thoughts on different companies and where you guys go to buy your product and singles. All right, for me, this is not biased by any means. I only buy from SCG when I have store credit there. Otherwise, I think the prices are too high. Anytime I buy cards now, I do not buy from SCG. I do not buy from Cool Stuff Inc. I actually buy from PCG Player. Their market, I found, has some of the cheapest cards. This is my non-biased answer at all. The only time I buy SCG is like when I win an event and I have a bunch of store credit, and then I buy cards. Or when new set comes out. Like when new set comes out, I need cards for X tournament because it's day one of the standard. I'm forced to buy from SCG, but SCG usually has higher prices than other retailers.
I'd like to point out, no one's ever forced to buy it. You could, I think it's nice that we have tournaments that you can play on week one, unlike a lot of other companies.
Listen, he asked for my non-biased answer. I gave him a non-biased answer.
Oh, but no, nothing ever comes up between us. I mean, like,
never.
It's not,
We would never let something as insignificant as that
Yeah, no.
come up between us.
No.
Or yeah.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's a little bit different because, okay, Ollie does not work for Cool Stuff Inc. He is a contractor. I'm the manager of the acquisitions department for Star City Games. So I'm a lot more in if basically if Cool Stuff Inc. shut down tomorrow, I would be inconvenienced for a little while, but would be fine. If SCG shut down tomorrow, I would not. I would be in trouble. I'd be scrambling for a job to support my family. So,
his answers would be biased. Buy everything from SCG.
I am contractually obligated to be biased. So
I answer for you.
Yep,
SCG
you did.
for life. Buy from them.
Yep.
Next one. What was your favorite commander and/or card from 2018? Favorite card from 2018? Mastermind's acquisition for me.
Well, we're gonna get to that. I was gonna say we're gonna get to that next week.
Okay, sorry, but that's not a surprise to anybody. I don't think.
No, we'll get to that one next week.
All right.
DeekFreak07. If Maggie were a planeswalker, what would her abilities be, and where does she fall in the color pie?
This is for both of us.
Why don't you answer and I'll chime in if I feel like you're wrong.
All right. Maggie would be a mono green planeswalker. She would cost 1 green, and she'd have 1 loyalty. And her +1 would be put a lick counter on target creature. Creatures with lick counters cannot attack Maggie, planeswalker. Her minus would be -0.
Okay, so that's not a minus. So she has a +1.
Should be 0.
The +1 is the lit counters, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Her 0 would be attach Maggie to a creature. That creature treat that creature as Maggie planeswalker. Make an attack as a creature. So basically,
what?
So what happened with that creature can be affected by if creatures basically creatures with lit counters.
Okay.
Can't hurt the creatures.
Why don't you say this then? +1, put a lit counter on target creature. Maggie planeswalker has protection from all creatures with lit counters on them.
There you go. Then her 0 would be attach Maggie to a creature.
See, this goes back to the Violet question. No, which question? Cardboard Lord. If we create a standard set, boom, we're doing it right now. Planeswalker number 1. Already getting the rules right.
Yep. And then her ultimate would be -1. Lick your opponent. Your opponent can attack you or anybody else for the game. You win the whole tournament.
Wow. Well, that threw that right out the window. I guess I blew that a little too early. All right.
No, her ultimate. What would her ultimate be? What would it be?
I'm thinking. I'm trying to think what embodies.
Oh,
Maggie.
I got it. -4 or -3. Gain control of all creatures with lick counters on them.
That's it. Yeah.
Yep. So one class planeswalker. It's really powerful. So that's probably too good. It'd probably be like higher cost, obviously, but higher cost or whatever you need to balance it. But those abilities, lick counters. She can attach to a creature, basically make that creature like.
I would just say 0 would be until your next turn. Target creature you control gains protection from creatures with lick counters.
Yes.
There you go. Because you're not attaching planeswalkers.
Yeah, that's better. That's easier too. Yes.
There we go. We got it.
Until you said until your next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, until the beginning of your next turn.
Till the beginning of your next turn.
Yeah, should be. Yeah,
boom.
That's
done.
what that should be. What would her name be? Maggie, the longest girl.
Okay, that's good. All right.
All right.
Jasper asks, I sometimes try to figure out the color identities of my close friends, not what they love or aspire to be, but who they are in their heart of hearts. 3 colors is the most common case, but I try to whittle down if possible. What colors do you think each of the other is? Is Justin truly a self-empowered, in justifies the means black mage? Does Ali preserve what he perceives to be the natural order while simultaneously striving for self-perfection as Krufix would dictate? Sorry for the long question, and thanks. Love what you guys do. That's a great, fantastic question, actually.
Yeah, it is. Probably one of the better questions.
That's a great question. Ali, do you want to...
I'll start first.
Yeah.
I'll start first. I'll answer Justin.
Okay.
Justin is one of the smartest people I know. His intellect actually is one of the things that drew me to him, and so he's definitely blue. He's basically a person that has their stuff together, which is very orderly. He knows, like, he does XYZ. He organizes everything, and that is also something that is very, like, something that I can't. That is not natural for me. And it's very natural for him, and he actually, like, strives to do it. And it's as weird as it sounds, it's almost like attractive to me because I don't have that trait. So I would definitely say Justin is like a Azorius, blue-white for sure. But he's not like he's not like the law at any cost or whatever. He also has a side of him that's very caring and very nurturing. I'd almost, Justin may not agree, but I'd almost also say he's like blue-white splash a little bit of green, because I've seen the way he interacts with Meredith, and like when he comes home from work, he, like, you know, gives her a hug, gives her a kiss, and he's like playful. So I would say Justin is also like loving, so like, and nurturing for his home, and wants to care of what is he believes is like his family, which is I feel is very green based. I'll say Justin is like Bantish, mostly blue white, but definitely has that little green to him.
All right, I'll try to follow up with that one. I appreciate that. Ali is, I think the thing that he is most is, I don't know how this fits on the color pie. It might be a little Simic, but I think I'm going to lean with green. Ali is the most, it's not that he's in tune with nature, but he is more in tune with himself and how he feels about things to a really extreme degree. I'm someone that's very pragmatic, where I need factual information to make a decision, and Ali often does not, but gets to either the right answer or the correct way of thinking about something without having to go through all of the steps that I have to go through. He can simply just look at a situation and feel as though it's his actions are correct, or he's doing the correct thing, and he's right significantly more often than not. So to me, I feel like that is very green, because he's just very in tune with himself, and he has a very high EQ, which an emotional quotient. Not that Ollie's not smart, because he's incredibly smart, but his EQ is like off the charts. So Ollie is certainly green. And I think Ollie is very white as well, because he has a strong sense of right and wrong. And that drives him in a lot of sense, because he will go out of his way to make sure that other people are taken care of above himself. So he wants to make sure that the many is taken care of above the individual, which is extremely white, almost to a fault sometimes. But even still, making sure everyone's taken care of and making sure that things are done honestly and the right way. Not because he doesn't want to, not because he feels like, oh, I've thought about it and this is how I want to do it. It's because, no, I understand that this is something, like, doing things the right way is really important to him. And I think if I was narrowing down to 2 colors, I would say white and green for Ali, despite him being Simic in real life. or in magic life, I guess. So that's my answer.
You make me cry. That was those. I think that was a really good question. Really good answers. I think Justin nailed me down pretty well too. Yeah, I think that's something we both could give really good answers to because we've known each other forever for a long time, and we are actually like best friends. I've told Justin this before in the past where I was like, growing up, like I had best friends, Justin, but I've never really had a best friend. Like, because now that I know Justin, I know what it's like to actually have someone that's like a best friend. Like whenever someone says, I have 2 best friends, or I have 3 best friends, I know for a fact that they have 0 best friends.
Yeah.
Because of the relationship Justin and I share.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I thought I had best friends. What I realized as an adult, and Ali and I have been friends for 10 years now. What I realized as an adult, especially in the last 10 years, is when I was younger, I had friends that I was close to, but I did not have a best friend. Someone that knows me better than they know anyone else, that I know them better than anyone else knows them, and someone that I can completely trust and rely on no matter what, without fear of judgment, and that has my best interest at heart 100% of the time, without question. So
yes, I feel this, and there's only one person actually in the whole world I feel that way about with, and that's Justin.
Yep. Even
more so than parents.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big time for me. So yeah, I think because of that, it's easy for us to kind of to see the whole part of the other people because we've seen the good and the bad. And I'm sure each of us could tell us our own bad sides.
Oh, for sure.
Which is actually, ironically, usually the opposite of something that the other person lacks in our case. So,
yeah,
great question though. Hopefully our answers was sufficed for you guys.
Yeah, I agree. Great question. Also enjoyed answering that question too.
All right, next one. Looks like we only have time for a couple more. Ethan on Patreon. Wizards of the Coast asked the 2 of you to pitch a new Magic expansion / plane, world building, premise of plane, major mechanics of theme. What kind of plane do you 2 work on together come up with? Thanks for the awesome show and keep it up. Look forward to it every week. Well, that's awesome. Let's see. I know that'd be tough.
I think we both sit down, and so like I'd basically ask Justin, okay, what's something cool, interesting that we'd want to work around? Like, we'd probably start with a story or lore, and then from there, or make our own plane. But I think it's hard to answer right now. As far as an expansion, I'd be like, hey Justin, I think Innistrad is a cool plane. I'd love to build a world around that. What do you think, Justin?
Yeah,
I think Justin probably agree. Innistrad is a sweet plane.
Yeah, Innistrad is definitely a sweet plane. There's so much that could. Innistrad is great.
Right, and I'd be like, Justin, I don't want to free Emrakul from the moon, but I want to use Emrakul on the moon as a mechanic. So can we do something like she somehow influences one of the cards and her ability could be a mechanic? Justin would probably say yes. And then together we would turn Emrakul being imprisoned on the moon into some sort of mechanic to the creatures like that are in tune with Emrakul or something.
Yeah.
And as far as themes, same thing would happen. We would definitely go off the horror theme, werewolves, vampires, etc. And after reading Brandon Sanderson's Children of the Nightless or Nameless, I really went back to Innistrad. So I think Justin and I would also knock it out of the ballpark.
Yeah, I think we could do. I think given the time and freedom to do so, I mean, I think we could legitimately design an expansion between the 2 of us.
I agree. It's also because we also know how, like, it's not even like that we're both. It's not like, okay, me and Justin and I are both good at designing things. I think it's that, but also how in tune we are with each other, so we can know we can play and feed off each other very, very well. Like there's times where I can say, Justin, I want XYZ to happen, but I word it wrong, and Justin like cleans it up like he did earlier with the Maggie Planeswalker card.
Yep.
In 2 seconds. So we work very well together.
Yep. And I could be like, okay, mechanically, here's what I want this to do. And then Ollie looks at it and he's like, that doesn't feel right. What if we change these 3 things? I'm like, yes, that's still what I wanted to do, and it actually fits and makes sense, and it's now it feels fun, and now it's something you want to play with instead of just something that looks like text on a card.
Yeah, I think that's what we'd be so good at doing, because like I'm a proponent of like having fun, and you are a proponent of like also having fun in a cube way, and also like making things fit right.
Yeah,
I think that stresses you out. Like I never really had to worry about that, about the rules and things fitting.
Big time stresses me out.
Like
yeah,
puzzle. Yeah, so that's why it was more fun for me. I don't know, something more fun for me, but that's why I think that's what stressed you out. Because I know it is, because that's.
Oh yeah, no, it was definitely more fun for you. Like I got enjoyment from it, but not every day was fun. When we were we're making the custom cube, and I think this would probably be the same way. Like, I don't know, there's definitely a difference between me enjoying something and me having fun doing it, and this would go on the. I can look back at it and feel like that it was a rewarding experience, but maybe not fun. But that's okay. Like that's fine for me. So
yeah, for me, it's almost 100% fun.
Yeah,
I just really enjoy it. I think it's awesome. Like I love getting my creative juices flowing.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, all right, last one from Fraser. You have to change one thing about Magic, whether it has to do with design or organized play. The change you make will decide the fate of the game. What do you change?
I say get rid of Planeswalkers forever. And if you want a Planeswalker card, design them like sagas. Like maybe even have them like longer sagas. Instead of like 3 counters, make them like 5 counters. Or 5 chapters, etc. I think Planeswalkers are excellent for storytelling. But they get out of hand and decide so many games in limited, and like basically cube, which is the same thing as limited, and even standard. Like a Planeswalker that costs 4 or more, going unchecked for like 4, 5, or even 6 turns, is just usually game over. And it feels bad because it's basically an enchantment that gives you a different mode every turn, and then one mode is like 99% of the time you win the game. I think for organized play, it'd be a plus to take them out. I agree. I also think it'd be good for take them out of design, just make them sagas. But I do think it'd be awful for story wise and face wise, like
that's been narratively that's been the turning point of Magic. Is Planeswalkers.
Yeah, narratively, absolutely, I agree with you.
Right.
But they said design or organized play. Nothing about.
Well, it says one thing about Magic, whether it has to do with design or they're basically saying one thing, and those are options. It doesn't have to be those.
Sure.
Those two.
What would yours be?
Mine is man. I mean, this won't happen. But I guess Ollie's not going to happen either. I guess mine has a higher chance of happening. In the Pokemon TCG, every single booster pack that you buy has a code for a booster pack on the Pokemon TCG online. And I would have Magic do that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's actually reasonable. And only upside. Well, mostly upside.
I mean, I think it's all upside, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know the downside.
I said mostly upside because I don't know the downside either. But I don't want to assume that there's a downside.
You sell more. You have everyone playing Arena, because if you're playing paper, it makes it you are hemorrhaging value if you did not play Arena if you also play paper, right? Because you have all these codes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think yours could be a real thing though, like way more real than mine is. Mine's like never ever happening in a million years.
No, it'll never happen. I don't think Wizards will do it, but I think they should. And then if you play Arena exclusively, the easiest path for you is to also buy booster packs. Just put them in every pack, back of every token.
Yep, I agree with that.
Done. Just super easy. You could do it. That changed Magic. You want to tell me Wizards doesn't just make more money? No, especially going into esports.
Take more people playing Arena.
Yeah, just do it. Just have everyone play both. Have everyone double dip.
Yeah, I think that's something that's very possible.
Hope so. Hope so. That'd be great. I think everyone wins. I think everyone wins. Everyone just wins. Wizards wins. Players win. Even
One more question though. What do you think is more balanced, sagas or planeswalkers?
Sagas. Sagas are amazing design. They're phenomenal.
Phenomenal. I agree.
Yeah, they're so great.
They can be destroyed without normal means of having to say, like Brass's Contempt, destroy planeswalker. You can destroy an enchantment artifact.
They also create a wonderful dynamic in the game, because it's like, do I want to use a spell to destroy this thing that's going to get destroyed
eventually
soon,
right?
But is it worth it to have my opponent get this effect when they've already gotten a part of an effect? Yeah, it's great. They're just,
I love them.
Yeah, they're great. Okay, I think that was it. I think that was all of the questions.
Hooray!
If we missed one, obviously feel free to hit us up on the Discord. Well, holy crap! I just looked at the time. Well, this is a long episode, but you guys have earned it. This is Patreon's. This episode was for you, so thank you guys so much. Hope you enjoyed it and enjoyed our answers to the question. But we need to get out of here, so we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna probably not have a question of the week, but we will talk about the the outro or something like that. All right, so we're not going to do a question of the week this week. We did 5 of them.
We did. We also went.
Yeah.
We're also not doing a Think Twice flashback because this episode is like double dipping essentially. It's probably our biggest episode ever. So
yeah, this looks like this is going to be our longest, or at least one of our longest. So
yeah.
Maybe we'll pick one for Twitter just to put one up there, because I know some people like to vote on those. Maybe we'll pick one of the 5 that we asked. In
you guys, or one that you asked us.
Yeah, or one that you asked us. We'll figure out something to post on Twitter, but we're not going to talk about it now. We talked about a lot of questions this week, so
yeah.
All right, Ollie, where can people find you?
Find me at coolstuffinc.com. Articles come out every Friday. That's soon going to change though. Soon I'll be doing one article, it'll be deck tech rather, and then 2 videos. You can also find me at twitch.tv/Ali Aintrazi, twitter.com/Ali Aintrazi, and ThinkTwice MTG YouTube channel. I do the stream highlights. You see me playing all the wacky decks. All right, Parnell, about you?
Indeed. You can find me on Twitter at jparnell1 on Twitter. You can also find me on StarCityGames.com and YouTube, Commander Versus. We just had a holiday episode come out, so you guys should definitely go check that out. If you want to contact the show, ThinkTwiceMTG on Twitter, ThinkTwiceMTG@gmail.com. You can find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and Spotify. Please leave us a review, a like, a share, subscribe. All that stuff would be fantastic. You can also find us on youtube.com/ThinkTwiceMTG. You can find Ali Aintrazi stream highlights. You can find Justin Parnell Journey of Discovery, free-to-play MTG series. You can also support the show, patreon.com/ThinkTwiceMTG. We have a lot of great reward tiers, including our Augur Bolus tier, which I really encourage everyone to get on. That gets you access to our Discord channel, early access to the show, as well as a pair of Ollie and Justin Think Twice tokens. This is a great time because you still have time to get in before I mail them out for the next month. Also, this is another reminder for people that have not put their address in to get those tokens. You want to do so. So double check if you are on that tier and you have not put it in. All right. We don't have any new patrons this week, but we do have animal pictures of the week. Ollie?
Mine is Side Eye Riley. He's wearing antlers. He's Rottweiler. Looks adorable. He's festive for the holidays, so that's my vote.
So you said Side Eye Riley?
Side Eye Riley.
All right. I am going to do another holiday themed one. Not in the way that we did last week. But I'm going to pick this picture of sweet little Casey, who is formerly Severo B's dog. Casey's 10, blind due to canine diabetes, but she looks like a very sweet girl. She's laying on the floor. You can kind of tell that she's blind, but They get to see Casey every single Christmas. So that's kind of just a warms my heart to have. Old dogs are so sweet. Old dogs are sweet.
They are sweet. They are sweet.
So, and she's still very, very cute. So Side Eye Raleigh and Casey, the 2 animal pictures of the week. And next week, we're going to be naming our animal pictures of the year, as we're going to be naming a lot of stuff for the year, because next week we are going to be doing our reflecting pool episode for 2018. So we're going to be going through and naming our favorite and least favorite things of the entire year in 2018. So we will be answering some of those questions you guys asked us this week. Ollie spilled the beans on one, but that one wasn't really much of a secret.
It wasn't a secret.
So we of course want to give our love to our director and producer, John Choi. He helped us organize these questions and get them together. And we want to thank all of you, because this episode is really for you guys, for all of the people that have supported us. Hopefully we can make this a regular thing. This was a lot of fun to do. Hopefully for both sides. It seemed like you guys had a lot of fun answering the questions, and we certainly had a lot of fun answering them. That's why we did it for 2 hours. I literally had no idea what time it was. Like I looked up at the clock, and it's like, 1 hour and 51 minutes we've been recording. So,
yeah.
So thank you guys very much. You guys are the best. We truly, in all honesty, and I'm not trying to plug if you're not on the Discord, but man, the community that we have, you guys are all so fantastic. Every time I see any other group of people or hear anyone talk about it, on Twitter or Facebook, other Discords or just other smaller kind of communities, we just have one of the best ones. That everyone is so positive.
Yes.
Everyone just has
support
fun.
Each other.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great. It really is great.
It really is legitimately great.
Yeah, people talk about there was one time in fitness, people help each other out about fitness. Then there's all kinds of different people, people support each other and chime in on each other all the time. So that's great.
Yeah,
it's always positive. There's never anything negative,
unless it's about Simic +1/+1 counter mechanics. That's the only negativity we've had.
That's true. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Sorry. We'll forgive you. For now. Until you rant again.
Alright.
So until we see more Simic cards previewed.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, good. It's probably true.
Alright. That's it. That's the show for this week. Remember, Reflecting Poll 2018 coming up next week. I'm super excited about that one. I always love our year in review episodes. So, Ollie,
I'll leave it to you, Justin.
You're the best, man. I love you. I do love you so much. You are my best friend in the entire world. I'm happy that we get to do this podcast together.
I am too. I enjoy it. I enjoy your company. I'd rather see you in person, but this suffices for. It's like a appetizer.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good way to put it. All right, that's it. That's the show for this week. Thank you guys very much.
Of course, we love you guys too. By the way, we love you too. We love you guys too. Thank you for again. I just want to say thank you for all the questions. You guys put in time and effort for all the questions. They were all well thought out, I thought, and they were great. I appreciate it. And again, thank you for the answers as well. So yeah, I just want to give my side too. So thank you, and have a happy New Year, guys.
Yep. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Next time we talk to these guys, it'll be 2019. So
I know. See you next year.
See you guys next year.